Hi, this is Kevin Trainer. Welcome to my tutorial on how to complete and submit your Django Girls tutorial assignment on macOS. Okay, so uh, I have a copy of the Django Girls project as we've been developing it. And you will notice that it's in a directory called Django Girls, and it has the directory structure that you would expect. Okay, and the problem is that it's not properly named, like one of the projects that we're going to be handing in. And that's because our project names and our project files are going to include our name and the name of the assignment. So um, the um, the naming scheme for the assignment that we're going to be handing in, um, both the directory that we're zipping up and the project uh, have the same name. And the form is surname, given name, Django Girls tutorial. So for me, it would be trainer, Kevin, Django Girls tutorial. Okay. And of course, it's not. We've been developing it as Django Girls. And that's because we wanted to match the documentation over at the Django Girls site. Now that we're done and we're ready to submit, we're going to rename things before we submit. Okay? So we're going to do that in Pycharm. So let's open Pycharm. And this copy that I'm working on is in my downloads folder. And that's just because it's kind of a scratch pad kind of work area for me when I'm recording my tutorials. So I'm going to open it. And we can see that it's got this, we can see that it's in the downloads folder and that it's in a folder called Django Girls. Okay, um, that's good. So first, um, before we rename it, okay, let's just make sure it has a proper configuration. This is going to be especially true for you if you, while you were doing the work over at the Django Girls website, um, if you were using the command line tools, if you haven't been using Pycharm all along, well, you don't have a properly configured Pycharm project yet. And if you've been using Pycharm all along, well, it's not going to hurt to check it. Okay, so let's go up to the menu, Pycharm Preferences, and then under Project, we're going to open that up, pick a Python interpreter, and you can see that I've got the right virtual environment hooked up here. It's called E4 Django Girls tutorial. And if I didn't, I could go out here to the gear and say I wanted to add. And I could go to content environment and down here in the middle, existing environment. And if I saw it in the drop down, I could pick it, or I could go over to the right a little bit more, click the three dots button. Okay, and that's going to take me out into my uh, virtual environments. Okay, and there under Anaconda 3 envs and under E4 Django Girls tutorial, I would go into bin, and then I'd look for the file. It's actually a file shortcut, and it's just called Python. and that's it, and I'd say OK. And before I went down to the bottom right and said OK, I would click this make available to all projects checkbox, and I'd click OK. Okay, and then the second thing I would configure is languages and frameworks, and then pick Django. And then I want to make sure that enable Django support is checked. And I want to make sure that the Django project root is this Django Girls folder, and that the settings are being pointed to at my site settings.py, and that the manage script is in the Django Girls directory, and it's manage.py. So that's properly configured as we're coming in. Oh, okay. Now we'll check it again after we do the rename. Okay, so how do you do the rename? Well, like any other renaming in Pycharm, you take the thing you want to rename, which is the name of the project here, right click on it, highlight it, right click, and then pick refactor rename. Okay, and you can see that the name of the directory now is Django Girls, and we're going to change it to trainer. You would change it to based on your name, right? But I would change it to trainer Kevin Django Girls tutorial. Okay, that's good. And I'm going to click on refactor, and you can see that that's been changed. Okay, now if we go out and just take a peek at the directory, we're going to see that it's been changed. That looks good. Okay, that looks good. Look up here, there's still a Django Girls directory. Okay, so this is an artifact of the renaming. There's actually a hidden directory in here that keeps the metadata for Pycharm. So I'm just going to get rid of that. Okay. Move it to trash. Okay. And this looks like the right one. Okay, that's good. All right, so far that looks good. All right, now let's go check the configuration again, because we changed the name of the directory that is the root directory for the project. We're probably going to have to fix the configuration. So let's go up to Pycharm preferences. Okay, we don't have to worry if we go back up the project. It should still be using, it's still using the same virtual env. That's not a problem. But if we come down to languages and frameworks in Django, we're going to see that we've lost the pointers to the configuration files. Okay, we're not pointing to a Django project root directory. Okay, so let's make sure that this enable Django support is clicked. That's clicked. Django project root, let's pick one. This looks like it. Kevin, trainer Kevin, Django Girls tutorial. Okay. And then the settings, we'll click on that. And that's in the My Site subdirectory, and it's settings.py. Click on open. That's good. And manage.py. Sometimes you'll see this just as the file and the extension. Other times you'll see the full path. It's okay either way. If there's a full path expression, it should be the right one. Okay, so let's click OK. And that's good. And then let's just confirm that we can get this thing to run. So go up to Tools. Pick Run, Manage.py, task. Okay, down in the manage.py window, run server. Oh, that port was already in use, so let's get a little bit of practice at stopping that. So that was a Python 3.8. Okay, we're going to stop it. Okay, that's gone. And now I'm going to press the up arrow to do a run server again. And there we go. It's running. Very good. Okay, so are we done yet? Well, almost. Okay. We're done with Pycharm. So now we have this directory that holds the project. We're going to need to zip that up before we submit it to Canvas. So here on the Mac, we're going to highlight that directory name. We're going to right click. We're going to pick compress, and it's going to compress it. Now this zip file is the file that we're going to submit to Canvas. Okay, so that's it. There's a lot of mechanics, especially because we're renaming this before we hand it in. But if you're careful and methodical, it should all go well. And I'm going to leave you here and say bye until next time. Bye-bye.